Coming up today on Studio 13 Live, sports radio legend Ian Furness partnering with Georgetown Brewing for a beer that benefits local charities. He's joining us to chat all about how you can help, and we'll hear from one of the charities impacted.
Then a look at the Light Collective organization, bringing hope to families dealing with childhood cancer, how they're helping kids through monthly Matchbox deliveries and special events.
Plus, get ready for charcuterie. Easy ways to take your boards at home to the next level with Salt Blade Meats.
And Jackson Street Pizza, here to show us how to make their mushroom pizza and summer mocktails. Studio 13 Live starts right now.
I wanna see you smile, take you another mile. Don't gotta wait, don't gotta wait, don't gotta wait today. It's happening all around, like sunshine through the clouds. I'm gonna make your day.
There, happy Tuesday, friends. Thank you so much for being here with us. And look who's back for more fun. Hi, Bender.
Hi.
Thanks for coming and hanging with me today.
Thanks for the invite again.
Yeah.
At the end of every show that I'm lucky enough to co-host with you and Mireya, I sit there at the end going, I wonder if I'll be invited back.
Of course you will. You're always welcome
Wow.
here. Yes.
I'm cheap labor. It's cool. It's all fine.
All right, let's get into these stories today. An Adele fan speaking out for the first time since the singer defended him to a security guard over the weekend. So let's break down what happened here. The singer was playing at Caesars Palace in Vegas when she noticed the security getting into it with a fan. She called him out. The show went on, and apparently the fan was standing up during the show, recording himself, singing along with Adele. People behind him got upset and told the guard. And the fan's response to them after the show, "You have legs, you could have stood too." The fan says he has no regrets for standing at the concert, and he actually made peace with the guard at the end of the night. He also wants Adele to know he cannot thank her enough for making him feel included and not like a troublemaker. I love that she stood up for him there. It's kind of hard at concerts, right? Because you pay so much for those tickets, you love that artist so much, and you want to like stand up and dance and like have the full experience there. But when anyone behind you pretty much has to stand up too, right?
This is very similar to the Miranda Lambert deal.
Yeah.
When she gave somebody a hard time sitting in the front row taking a selfie.
Yep.
I mean, yeah. I mean, you're spending that kind of cash.
Yeah.
You should be able to stand and do whatever you want. I mean, don't get me wrong. If I were in row 2, 3, and 4, I'd be just as mad.
Yeah.
But if I'm in the front row and I've paid what I've paid,
Yeah.
sorry.
You want to do your thing. And then you love the artist that much more when they defend
That
you
is correct.
for
I'm
it
going to do
too.
my thing and I'm going to dance at Adele.
You do it.
That's right. So Beyonce is asking fans to wear silver in honor of her birthday. She posted on social media saying Virgo season is upon us and asked fans to celebrate by wearing silver for her shows through September 22nd. Beyonce wants fans to wear silver to create a shimmering human disco ball. According to TMZ, Etsy's been slammed with outfit requests since the singer made the announcement, and she's going to be at Lumen Field on September 14th. Will you be dressing up like a disco ball?
I love the trend of an artist, or not even just an artist, because with Taylor Swift's Eras Tour, it became like an unofficial dress
Right.
code. But I love that Beyonce's like, I'm just going to tell you what I want to see out here too, because I feel like it makes the collective experience that much more fun.
And
you know
it
what I
takes
mean?
the pressure off having to try to figure out what to wear.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You're like, okay, silver outfit, going on Amazon, ordering it immediately here too. I love it. I noticed that even for the Barbie movie, you know, like
Oh,
we
yeah.
all wore our pink. Did you wear pink?
I did not. Rachel did. Rachel had a hot pink blazer on, and I was just wearing
Yeah.
this.
But
Yeah.
you were just Ken.
I was just kidding. That's basically what I was.
It was so fun though, like even like going to the bathroom before the movie started, you'd just run into girls at the sinks and they'd be like, I love your outfit, I love your outfit. And I feel like that just makes the experience that much
I was
better.
thinking of wearing an oversized suit and a fedora for Oppenheimer.
Do it.
Does that work
Do
for
it.
you?
I'm not sure if everyone else will get the memo, but I would love it if you started that trend.
Good. Okay, I'm on it.
Okay. Adam Sandler's new movie is apparently his freshest one yet, according to Rotten Tomatoes. The comedy You Are So Not Invited to My Bat Mitzvah gave him a 96% fresh score. This bumped his previous record of 93% for his 2022 sports drama Hustle. Now, Adam stars alongside his two daughters, Sunny and Sadie, in the movie, and you can stream the movie on Netflix now. I almost watched this yesterday. I haven't seen it yet, but it looks really cute.
I haven't seen it yet. I haven't even seen a trailer for it, so I'm so out of the loop on this.
Yeah, it looks really good though, but I'm kind of surprised. Like, he's had so many legendary movies. Maybe they just aren't as popular with the critics, though. You know. It's hard to think of anyone beating like Happy Gilmore, any of his previous films.
Okay. The Happy Gilmore reference right into a funeral will not be held for Bob Barker. Did you mean to do that?
Sorry about that, Bender.
It was extremely, well. So apparently Bob Barker's representatives say Bob did not want a service, so his wishes are being listened to. Instead, he'll be, I guess, laid to rest next to his high school sweetheart, his wife of 36 years in the Hollywood Hills. Bob died at 99 over this past weekend.
Yeah. Eminem has asked Republican presidential candidate Vivek Ramaswamy to no longer use his music on the campaign trail. Eminem asked for his music to be removed from an agreement with BMI Music Licensing after Vivek went viral for rapping one of his songs at the Iowa State Fair. Wow. Vivek's campaign responded by saying, quote, "He just got on the stage and cut loose. To the American people's chagrin, we'll have to leave the rapping to the real Slim
I'm
Shady."
beginning to think that all politicians, when they do music and so on, and they never get the official okay, that all the campaigns, both left and right, have realized that if we don't get the permission, we're going to get another couple days of news cycle out of this because the artist is going to get mad. The constituents aren't going to care.
Yeah. I was going to say it backfires on them, though.
I don't think it does.
To have the artist be like, no, no.
I don't know, man. All right, how about this? Stars just like us, and oh, Kevin, I feel your pain. Kevin says he got very emotional when he dropped off his daughter at college. He posted on Instagram saying he cried in the car when he left her there. Kevin said his daughter has blossomed into an amazing young woman, says he's proud of her. The picture shows his wife, his 18-year-old daughter, 15-year-old son, and 5-year-old son in the dorm room. I just did this. I just dropped my daughter off at school down in Orange County, down in Southern California, and everything I tried to hold it together, but I'm right there with Kevin. It's Daddy's little girl.
Yeah.
And I was fine until, right there after we did all of the orientation stuff. And just as we were saying goodbye, she, told me, I told you this yesterday. Yeah. She said, thank you for everything. And I started blubbering like an idiot, and then she left my room, and it got even worse for a good half hour because it's...
What were you thinking in that moment?
After she left?
Yeah.
It was the blink of an eye.
Yeah.
I mean, because, her and I are really tight, and like that since she was really, really little.
Yeah.
And I drop her off, and now it's FaceTiming every night, but I was just a mess. I knew I would be, so I'm right there with Kevin. I can totally get it, and it's, Oh, Carly, what are you doing?
Sorry. She's lucky to have a dad like you who loves her so much and drove her to college, too. That's such a special moment.
We drove really, really slow. Really, really, really slow.
Yeah.
Because I didn't want to get there. But, yeah, it was, and I knew it was coming, and she's going to be great. But, yeah,
I'm not going to make you cry anymore. All right, let's talk about this. Tattoo artists at wedding reception. So a bride and groom in Kansas, they got tattooed at theirs, and so did some of their guests. According to wedding planners, this is gaining popularity in the wedding industry. Some people say that they love the idea of a memorable gift, while others think an open bar and a tattoo artist might not mix.
I think it is a great idea for the bride and groom to do it.
Yeah.
But guests at a wedding.
Yeah.
Because then it's a lot of, oh, look what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
It's a great idea.
Yeah.
Do you have tattoos?
I don't have any tattoos. Do you have any?
I have a couple tattoos on my arm and my daughter on a road trip. How about that?
Oh, my gosh.
That's my daughter's signature.
Yeah.
And
wait, on this road trip that you just did?
On the previous one.
Oh, the previous one.
Yeah.
Oh, my
No,
gosh.
it was this road trip that she said, it's just going to be like our last road trip, only like this time you're going to leave me there.
Oh, Bender.
So, but I think the tattoo's a great idea.
Yeah. Yeah.
But for guests, I don't know, man, with an open bar.
I know. I remember at my cousin's wedding, they had these like tiny grilled cheese sandwiches and like little tomato dippers, and I was so excited about them. I probably would have done something stupid and tattooed that and be like, look guys, look how funny this is. It's exactly what you're saying.
Carly's got barbed wire on her bicep.
my
It's fantastic. So how about this? There are lots of ways that police can catch drivers speeding, but nobody is getting quite as creative as the Mesa, Arizona Police Department. They've started putting out dummy cruisers. Now, the cars aren't fake, but they're putting dummies in the drivers. How these jokes write themselves. The police mannequins are put there to make it look like officers are there in the cars, hoping to freak drivers out. People's going to slam on their brakes, and apparently it's working. You don't even need, as someone who may or may not speed in his car, you don't even need to put a dummy in the car.
Yeah.
The car itself will freak you out.
100%.
Do you speed?
Okay, it's really hard not to speed a little bit when the speed limit's 25 everywhere. I really try. I'm a rule follower, and I really try.
It's typically a zone where you're not supposed to speed.
No, even on like Westlake, it's 25 here. It's really. I feel like I'm on the brake more than I'm on the gas.
The easy
Seattle.
answer was back when the viaduct was still here at 3 o'clock in the morning. There's nobody there, and there's no place for a cop to hide.
Yeah.
But it's gone now, so all my fun is over.
Yeah. Even those signs that show you your speed limit, I'm like, oh my gosh, those make me pay attention here. Sometimes you need a little reminder there.
Sometimes
What's coming up, Bender?
Coming up on Studio 13 Live, we're talking all things charcuterie. How to make your boards, had them taken to the next level with salt blade meats.
That's right. But first, hundreds of years of anticipation comes up short. Why a time capsule at West Point Academy left officials feeling empty. Right after the break.
It's happening.
It's time for Zillow Gone Wild, where we take a look at the wackiest, craziest homes on the market.
That's right. Today we're going to take you out to Hudson, Wisconsin, where you can live out all your Barbie-core dreams. So this 7-bedroom, wow.
Oh, come on.
That's a lot of pink. 4-bathroom house was built in 1900, and as you can see, it got a nice little update this year. Maybe that's where the rest of the pink paint went. You hear about that pink paint shortage? From floor to ceiling, it got pink stairs, pink flamingos, pink curtains, pink decor.
It is accented nicely with black furniture that took a turn. It's like Barbie meets Dracula's castle. There's a little movie room, an outdoor swimming pool, a hot tub, and as of now, it's listed on Zillow for a little over $1 million. And where is this again?
This is in Hudson, Wisconsin.
Location.
I feel like Wisconsin's kind of an expensive place to live, though. Anyway.
Wisconsin.
Madison, anyway.
Madison, Wisconsin for $1 million and a Barbie house. I'm gonna say no.
Probably not for me also. It's just, I feel like if this house is having an identity crisis, we're going like dark gothic skulls with like bright, happy, nostalgic Barbie.
Do we know if the Zillow listing has land? So, like, can we buy the land, level the house, and buy something nicer to put on the land?
Knock it down. For $1 million? I don't know. You're probably subsidizing their cost of paint.
I mean,
right?
$1 million in Madison, Wisconsin. You're probably looking at 10 acres of land, man.
Hopefully. Well, if you come across any crazy or beautiful homes on the market, definitely let us know. You can find us on social media at Studio 13 on Fox.
A time capsule found in a war monument from 1828 was finally opened after months of waiting. Experts gathered yesterday and set up a live stream for the big reveal. But when they opened the box, oh no, it's like Geraldo was there. They found nothing but dirt. The box was believed to have placed by cadets at the base of the monument almost 200 years ago. Many had hoped that there would be military relics, historical documents, and officials say that moisture must have destroyed everything because there was nothing in it. Oh. I mean, remember Geraldo opening up Al Capone's vault and found nothing but dirt and bottles?
Yeah.
That's what this was.
This to me is like the equivalent of the wah, wah, wah sound.
I love this stuff. I absolutely love this stuff, and I would have been just devastated if I, was there and was just, oh, that sucks.
I know. What an anticlimactic live stream.
Wow.
That's
Okay.
life, though. It happens sometimes, right? Let's talk about wine because there's too much of it in France, so much to the point that they're destroying it. So the country's wineries produced about 80 million gallons more than they need. That's enough to fill about 100 Olympic-sized swimming pools. That's a lot of wine. Wine consumption has dramatically dropped across Europe since the pandemic. So the French government, they're stepping in to buy about $216 million worth of wine to destroy and help the industry out. It's going to be turned into industrial alcohol that can be used in cleaning products, hand sanitizer, and perfume.
Why can't that stuff, I mean, serious question, why can't that stuff be exported? Why are you going to destroy all that wine?
I know. Well, I was thinking too, don't we age wine? Can it just be aging for a long time? But actually, let me get the statistic. 90% of wine is meant to be consumed within a year, and 95% of wine is meant to be consumed within 5 years.
Look at you.
I looked it up today.
Wow.
Yeah. So not
I'm
that
very
much wine
impressed.
is actually aged, according to the internet
I'm
here.
extremely impressed with that.
Kind of crazy, right?
I can't believe they would destroy all that wine.
I know. At least they're using it for something
There
else.
are people that we know, you, Jody, my wife Rachel,
Yeah.
that would have no problem volunteering to help put all that back.
Send it to Studio 13 Live. All right, still ahead, sports TV and radio legend Ian Furness. He's here to talk about his new partnership with Georgetown Brewing and how it helps out local charities.
But first, I'm going solo with the guys for this whole charcuterie board thing with Salt Blade Meats and what you can do to impress your guests. Coming up.
Don't gotta wait today.
Whether you are gearing up for football Sundays or just hosting a party and want to wow your guests, you can't go wrong with a charcuterie board. Joining us today, the owner of Salt Blade Meats, Bob Blade.
Hello.
Hey man, it sounds like a radio name.
Thank you. It does
fantastic.
sound like that.
So now, before we get going here, in the action, you're going to share a little bit of exactly what it is you're doing. And I mean, it's a charcuterie board. So typically, it would be a lot of the fruits and the vegetables and meats and so on.
You definitely need the meats on a charcuterie board. You got to start with the charcuterie.
So you tell me, you
Sure,
take the
sure.
lead here. What are we
Sure,
doing?
I'll tell you. So first of all, Salt Blade is my business. I make salami.
Okay.
So, and I started this business about 10 years ago. I was from IT consulting background, and I wanted to get out of that and do something more meaningful. So I wanted to create a business where I could change the food world to the type of food I believe in. So all the meat I use comes from Olson Farms up in Colville, and I started it to make it support meat from a small family farm. So
And this is all your stuff.
that's all my meats, yeah. And we make many more flavors than this. We have a ton of them.
He's got his own name on it. Look at this. Come on, man. You're not like going to the store buying meats and putting boards together. This is
We're
your
not doing
own
that.
stuff.
This is ours. We bring the real deal. So.
Was I not showing that to the right camera? Look at that. That's cool. See, look, I can't. You guys can't even keep up with what I'm doing. There we go. We're good. All right.
Yes.
So, Bob, show me. What do you got?
Yeah, go ahead and taste some things. First of all, one of our flavors here is a traditional Balinese style. It's uratan. It's got galangal, ginger, garlic, chilies, and turmeric. It's a little spicy. If you're okay with spicy food.
Oh,
you
yeah,
should
absolutely.
Go ahead and give it a try.
Okay, so we're gonna go.
So you can try anything.
What do you want to start? All right.
We've got the Seattle stick has coffee and chocolate in it.
Okay.
I brought some fun flavors
yeah.
to put on a board today.
Okay.
We've got orange and coriander salami, another creative flavor.
Is this gonna screw up the palate if I just do?
Now
all
you can
of it
eat them
right
in
down
any
the
order.
line?
It doesn't matter.
Okay.
And then we've got a little pepperoni. I just brought some
course.
old school pepperoni
Sure.
today.
And so, where do you start?
So do you know the process of, well, for assembling the board or for making salami? Let me give
Where
you
do you want to start?
Let me give you a little bit of making of the salami.
Okay.
So it looks just like fresh sausage when we make it, but we inoculate it with lactic acid producing bacterial cultures and we ferment it. So the first 24 hours are fermentation, and then it goes on, this size goes on for a couple more weeks, and it never sees any heat treatment or anything, and then it's dried up and it's ready to eat, ready to slice and eat.
Really?
It's like magic. Yeah, just completely
like
like magic. You just take raw meat and hang it, and it becomes edible.
Wow, that's spicy.
Yeah, this is spicier.
That's got a kick.
Yes.
Sorry.
Yes.
So once everything is ready to go, who decides when it's ready to go? You?
Me and
Taste? Is
we've
there
got
like
a whole crew.
process?
Yeah, we might measure some scientific parameters of it too. So we're
Okay.
measuring water activity to make sure that it's gotten down to a safe point.
That's really hot.
Did you try this one yet?
Look at you setting me up.
That's spicier. So.
Okay.
But yeah. So then, we get to decide on the flavors too. We make 11 flavors in our standard lineup. We normally have 4 or 5 rotating flavors as well, just seasonal ones. So we get to have a lot of fun with that.
All right, let's make a board.
Okay,
let's do this.
let's make one. We made,
Whoa!
There you go. That's the reaction I like to see.
That's hot, man. All right, let's do this. All right, so
we've got a big board, and this is kind of like, we're going to make some little ones, though. So we had to make a bunch of these for Taste Northwest earlier this year. And so we made things that we could hand out. So what I did was put a little cracker. This is a jam. It's a pear balsamic from, let you do this.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah.
Okay.
Here. And we've got a little mustard, a little whole grain mustard.
Oh, so you're putting it on the side?
I'm putting them on the sides. Okay. You can there are no rules to this. That's the great thing about these little things.
Oh, this is fantastic.
Good.
Okay.
It's better when you eat them. But no, you got to try them already. And then I've just been putting a couple of slices of maybe, a few slices of a different flavor. Some of this one, some of that one.
Okay. So is this something that you can do, and I'm realizing with the little ones, this is what we're doing. We're making little ones for parties. So this isn't a typical, you're not making a giant charcuterie board for a party. You're allowing your guests to make little ones like this?
We can. I mean, at a party, I'd probably just have it like that. Okay. Let everybody graze off of it.
Did I just give you a brilliant idea?
You might have,
like party favors. This is great.
It is actually making them. And then I was going to let you do that too today. You can put whatever you want on there. This is how we served them more or less as a way to just serve them to 1,000 people.
Okay.
And we just cranked them out all day at that event. But it could have cheeses added to it. We don't really have knives for this.
What kind of cheeses do you add to a typical charcuterie board? Does it matter what meats you're using?
Sometimes it matters for me. So the blue cheese that we have here, I love with orange and coriander salami.
Okay.
So sometimes if I've got a blue in my house, I'm getting the orange and coriander on purpose to go with it. There's also a truffle flavor salami that we make that I love with like a triple cream brie, like a really oozy, stinky cheese. So there are some that I pair together very on purpose, but many of these just go with about any cheese you would like them to go
Because
with.
when you're trying to sell the charcuterie board cheese, you're always looking for the ooey and the stinky cheese.
That's what I'm looking for. Here, I'll set this out here.
And
we can make a bunch of these if we want.
Mine looks exactly the same way. So when you're adding, and again, I may be asking really stupid questions for somebody who, you do the charcuterie board and anybody who knows how to make one, this may be stupid, but when it comes to the fruits and stuff that you add, are there specific fruits to go along with the cheeses and to go along with the crackers?
What I care about is seasonality.
Okay.
I just like to get what's in season. So in the wintertime, you're a bit more limited, but at that point we have preserved things and we have, so various things that we've put up different ways. I wouldn't even mind fermented products on there in the winter, but in the summer we've got this bounty of fruit. We've just got so many options for what to put on there. We've got all our local apples, obviously, in the berry season.
Fantastic. This is really good.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
It's really spicy.
It is spicy. It does have a kick.
Wow. Hey, so I'm going to send it. You know what? Sorry, guys. This is what happens with a radio guy on TV. I have no idea what I'm supposed to be saying. So I guess we're going to commercial. We're going to come back, and I think we're talking to Ian Furness.
Okay.
We're live on Studio 13 Live. You know him as a sports radio legend. And from here on Fox 13 Seattle. And now Ian Furness is partnering with Georgetown Brewing once again for an IPA that helps several different organizations.
That's right. Joining us this morning to talk all about it, Ian Furness from Sports Radio KJR and Fox 13 Sports, and Brandon Huffman from the Avery Huffman Foundation. Hi.
Hello.
Thanks for being here. Tell us all about this beer.
Well, I mean, first of all, it's weird to be here. I thought I'm used to doing the news here, so I'm kind of trying to get my bearings with me. But back in 2020 when we had the pandemic, it was, we were in a tough situation, and I've had a golf tournament for about a dozen years to raise money for different charities I feel comfortable with and really feel strong about. And in 2020, no golf. And Georgetown is an incredible part of the community. They've given over $1 million plus just to Children's Hospital, as Bender Wells knows, with their Bob's Brown Ale every year. And we came back and we said, how can we do something to help? They approached me. There's no golf tournament. They said, let's brew a beer. And so there we are, and that was 4 years ago, and an award-winning beer later, here we are with Mayor number 4, so it's fun.
We brought the certificate to prove it.
Yes, when I say, we always joke, and Bender knows this in radio, we have award-winning show, or award-winning this. It actually
is.
It actually did win an award. Matt Edwards is the great brewer at Georgetown. the man that made Bodie's Offa, and in 2021, it won a Washington Beer Bronze Medal. So it's an award-winning beer. I can honestly say that. I had nothing to do with brewing it, by the way, outside of telling them what I like. But yeah, it's an award-winning beer.
I know the answer to this, but I'm going to ask it anyway for those that don't know. Why is it called the Mayor?
So years ago on the radio, somebody said to me, like, hey, you're like the mayor of Maple Valley. And it just stuck. And at the time, the mayor, I think it was Laura Idings, was like, she's upset about that.
Stop it.
And so it's weird in sports radio when someone's upset about something, you just take it and run with it even more, as you well know. Sure. So it's just, I've been nicknamed the mayor of Maple Valley. And so the Mayor Golf Tournament is what the golf tournament's called, the mayor of Maple Valley Open. And so it's the Mayor beer.
That's fantastic. And I love the fact that you just embellished on top of it. That's great.
Wonderful. Well, let's talk about the charities that this beer helps.
So it's basically 3 charities. I started with a couple others, and the golf tournament was really small, but what ended up happening is in 2018, I met the Holinsky family, and we did a story on Fox 13. I sat down with Kim Holinsky and her son Kelly after Tyler had committed suicide at Washington State University, and really an emotional interview. We sat down with her at a park in Bellevue, ran it on the news, did a 2-part series on it. And Kim Holinsky, at one point in the interview, she points to me and she says, you know, we're all going to do something. And she points right at me. And I've never had this doing an interview, and I'm used to doing sports. And so it's a little bit different. And she says, you're going to do something, we're going to do something, we're all going to do something. And I said, well, what can I do? Well, I'm going to add it to the golf tournament. And so I added the Holinsky Hopes Foundation, mental health big. My son plays college football. I understand the pressure those kids are under. And then on top of that, we'd already worked with Avery, and we'll talk about Avery and the Huffman Foundation in a second. And then in addition to that, Jordan Morris Foundation became a really big deal for our family. My son was diagnosed with type 1 diabetes in 2019. He's a student athlete, and Jordan Morris, you can see here, this is a story we actually did on Fox 13 2 years ago on Jordan Morris's foundation. He runs a soccer camp, which is coming up this weekend, meets with a child after every game, home and away, did so last weekend in Minnesota, that has type 1 diabetes. He met with my son. They didn't know who I was in the sense of like, oh, you're not, they just said, hey, you know, are you an athlete? Yes, I am. Met with Jordan Morris. Jordan Morris made an incredible difference for him. Got him inspired to put his weight back on, gain weight, and play football. And so those 3 foundations, very grassroots, and that's why those 3 mean so much to me, and that's why we do the beer and do the golf tournament.
That's wonderful.
And successfully at that.
Yep.
And you brought Brandon Huffman from the Avery Huffman Foundation with you. Brandon, so you got to tell us about the foundation from your vantage point.
Sure. So we established the Avery Huffman DIPG Foundation in 2016, shortly after our daughter Avery, my wife and Amanda and I. In 2015, she was diagnosed with an inoperable brain tumor, terminal upon diagnosis, and she fought it for 7.5 months as bravely as you can. 7 years old, she passed away in February of 2016. So 3 months later, we started the Avery Huffman DIPG Foundation to raise funds, raise awareness for researchers around the world to try to find a cure for this terminal brain cancer. And in May of this year, we went over the $1 million mark raised since 2016. Wow. One of our biggest supports is at Seattle Children's Hospital. There's a prominent lab worldwide, one of the most worldwide renowned labs, treating DIPG, diffuse intrinsic pontine glioma. It's a horrible disease, but we decided that because she fought so faithfully and so bravely every day, we fight back in her honor. We wake up every morning and she'd have a list of things that she wanted to accomplish, and our thing was, if she can get up every morning fighting this, what's our excuse? So we established a foundation. Ian came alongside us from the very beginning of her diagnosis and all the way through. The first golf tournament we were part of was shortly after she passed away, and he's been an incredible support to our foundation since its inception.
Yeah, what a wonderful partnership. What does it mean to you? I mean, to have the beer support this foundation.
Oh, I mean, it's incredible because, you know, who doesn't love Georgetown beer? I mean, I was always a Manny's guy. In fact, I've been doing Ian's radio show for, 15, 20 years, talking recruiting, and every National Signing Day I'd have a Manny. So when Georgetown was at that first golf tournament I was a part of, I had Manny serving me a Manny's. It was wonderful. Then a few years later, he said, hey, you know what? We're going to do this beer called the Mayor. I'm like, oh, I got to have a Georgetown beer, and Avery's name's going to be plastered all over the brewery, and I got to tell people to drink this beer and, you know, support this foundation. It was pretty much the perfect marriage there, if you ask.
That's got to be having to live through something that no parent should have to live through, but you have to be awfully proud of what you've been able to pull off to this point. So congratulations on that. do you, and to take it to more of the lighter side, Ian, did you have anything to do with the taste of the beer?
Well, I didn't brew it, obviously. That has to do with chemistry and things like that, which I dropped in high school and college. So Matt Edwards is the brewer. They've got an incredibly talented staff down there. But when they said, let's do the beer, they said, what do you want? Like, what do you like? And I said, I like an IPA, but I want something that's drinkable for everybody, really hazy. And they came up with this. I know we're going to taste it. It's sensational. And it's one of those beers that you have people, and they get asked all the time, hey, are you going to put it in cans? Are you going to buy it? It's a limited release. It's out for a couple weeks. You got to get it when you can. But I told them, and they know what I like because I'm there a lot.
We know what he likes. Bottle it.
And they, but Georgetown's great. They again, I can't say enough about them and what they do in the community. And they're the best brewery on the West Coast, if not the country. And so I'm just thrilled to be partnered with them. I call many of them friends: Manny, Roger, Matt, and Crystal, and Dave, and Peter. The whole group down there. They're just incredible supporters. And I mean, listen. I'm sitting next to a guy that raises millions of dollars for children's hospitals, so you understand what we're doing here because it's about those foundations for young people. Jordan Morris is heavily involved at Children's Hospital, and they do a lot of different things there. Obviously, what Children's does there too with the research for DIPG. So if we can make a beer to raise money for small foundations that every dollar means something, that's a win all the way around. And oh, by the way, the beer is great.
Absolutely. Before we try the beer, I mean, talk more about how you chose the charities that you wanted to get involved.
Just the biggest thing is I wanted something that was grassroots. I wanted something that meant something to me, but also that for a while I was doing something for another charity, and they didn't care. It was a drop in the bucket for them. Brandon was personal for me because I knew the struggle he went through with Avery. Jordan Morris, because my son's got type 1 diabetes and the difference he made, and just the difference I saw at the Children's when someone is sick and what they do. And then the Helinski's Hope. Like I said, when I met Kim, it was probably the hardest interview I've ever done in my career. Certainly not like talking to a Seahawk after a game. And I said, what can I do? And it was an easy thing. We're going to help raise money for it and help raise awareness. And we've become very good friends with everybody involved. And so that's why we are where we are.
That's okay.
Cheers
as we go to do this,
yes.
Raise a glass.
Yes.
Brandon, if I may, I know the inspiration, again, from a family that had to go through what you went through was just unconscionable. And for Ian to use your platform to do what it is you do is really commendable. So cheers to you guys.
Cheers to you guys.
Here we go.
We're gonna turn Carly into a beer drinker. Is what we're gonna do.
It smells really good too. Very citrusy.
Citrus. It's got 4 different hops, all from the Yakima Valley. They don't use fruit in their beers. A lot of breweries do. This is all a natural citrus. You can taste the citrus in it.
Yeah, definitely.
And then, it's a great Labor Day weekend beer. Go get some this weekend because it's only going to be available we'll usually run out in about 2 weeks.
That's from the mayor right there. Go get it.
From the mayor of Maple Valley. Ian Furness, Brandon Huffman, thank you so much for coming in and sharing your story and this awesome beer. We appreciate you.
Hey, nothing better than a beer in the morning, right?
You know it. You can get the Mayor IPA at Georgetown Brewing, like they said.
Still ahead, we're learning to make some mushroom pizza with Jackson Street Pizza Lounge.
That's right. But first, we're giving you a look at the local organization that's helping families who have children with cancer, how the Light Collective is spreading hope through surprise deliveries and very special events. Right after the break. While everyone around the world felt the loneliness and isolation of the pandemic, families with immunocompromised kids continue to feel that way every single day. The Light Collective is an organization that builds hope and resilience for families dealing with childhood cancer through virtual and in-person events and matchbox deliveries every single month. So today, I am joined by the founder and executive director of the Light Collective, JJ Kissinger. Welcome.
Thank you. Privileged to be here.
Thank you for being here and telling us all about the Light Collective. Yeah. What kind of inspired you to start this?
Yeah, well, listen, anybody that's been through something hard, even like your last guest was talking about, knows that when you're going through a season of suffering, there's always these layers of it's the hard thing you're going through, and then there's also the isolation of feeling like, am I the only one going through this hard thing? So in the midst of something like childhood cancer, which is one of those layered experiences, the Light Collective hopes to be a space where we build a community that is a hope-oriented community that helps families who have a child with cancer build resilience and share delight.
And you have a wonderful community helping you out there. Talk to us about how many volunteers make up the organization and about some of their different backgrounds.
Yeah, well, every month we run this great program called Matchbox Day, and we have about 50 to 60 volunteers each month that are signed on to help make it happen, whether it's preparing stuff that goes in the box or delivering the boxes all over the city. They're from all different backgrounds, high schoolers, schoolers all the way to families who have been through childhood cancer themselves and are looking for ways to give back, retirees, a little bit of everything.
Yeah, definitely. And so, as you said, the Light Collective really began during the pandemic when people could not meet in person. I remember those days.
That's right, yes.
Tell us about, first of all, the virtual events that you've hosted.
Yeah, well, so Matchbox Day is kind of our main program. It's a virtual family fun day that happens every single month. So there's 3 parts of it. One is that we put these boxes together full of games and activities and snacks and crafts. We deliver them to a family's front door or their hospital room or their room at the Ronald McDonald House, wherever they might be. It's more than just kind of toys and games. It's really curated stuff that our team creates and puts together with the hopes that it prompts families to turn toward one another, to make memories and connect and just remember who they are as a family. So that's one part. The second part is there's 3 opportunities to connect on Zoom. We have craft time, games, and a really special parent and caregiver connection time where all the grown-ups can share support, share their stories, and remember that they're not alone. And the third part is that we buy families dinner. So we send them a voucher for local meal delivery, and everyone knows the tyranny of what's for dinner can be really hard and horrible, so it's nice to alleviate that for families at least once a month.
Definitely. And then you've kind of gone and you hosted your first in-person event recently. Tell us about that.
That's right. Well, we surveyed families a few months ago about their experience with Matchbox Day, and a lot of them said, hey, listen, we'd be really excited to gather in person. It's hard for us to be in person because our kids have no immune system, but we trust you that you could create a safe space for us. So we said challenge accepted, and we created this great one-day experience over in Bellevue. Aldersgate Community Church let us use their beautiful outdoor space. We had a carnival, a picnic lunch, all sorts of really fun interactive games. We had 17 families from all over the region. Even families came up from Portland to be part of this. And to see families gathering together, meeting one another after getting to know each other on Zoom, there's just nothing like it. That movement from isolation to support is really one of our biggest goals.
What did that feel like for you to see that?
Unbelievably gratifying. I mean, the way that these families showed up, it was almost like a family reunion. And to just see the way that they trusted our team and got so engaged, and the kids were just all smiles all day long. It was really exciting.
So is this the box that the Matchbox deliveries
yes. So
come
last
in?
month in August, our theme was camping. So in the box, we had a few things. We always have about 10 to 15 different activities in each box. So this was a fort kit with a little sheet and some clips to make your own little fort. There was also, you can't have a camping theme without a little s'mores kit. You know what I'm saying? We gave them a little flashlight and a how-to to make shadow puppets on the wall of your tent, a little basket of huckleberries. They're actually just little purple pom-poms. So you hide these all over your room and see who can find the most. So a bunch of fun things like that just are, we talk about delightful distraction a lot. That's the name of the game.
Delightful distraction. I like that. Talk more about the difference that this makes for the families that get these awesome boxes.
It's massive. I think just the chance, there was a time when a parent said, wow, we got on Zoom and my son, who had a bald head and a feeding tube, saw other kids that looked like him. And that was the first time he realized that he wasn't the only kid going through something like this. There's other times where families are separated. It might be that one parent is here in Seattle with their kid living at the Ronald McDonald House for these long treatments, and the rest of the family is back home in Alaska or Idaho or Montana. So for those families, we'll often send 2 boxes so that families in both places can be doing the same kinds of things. They're making the same snacks and playing the same games and seeing each other on Zoom. So we're creating that togetherness even when families aren't able to be together because of treatments that are weeks or months long.
Yeah, definitely. So if somebody's watching and they're thinking, like, I would love to get one of these boxes, how can they kind of sign up for future Matchbox Days?
Yes, our website, lightcollectivepnw.org, is a great place to go, and we're always happy to take new families. Our first Matchbox Day was in the height of the pandemic in 2020, and we had 11 families participate. Now we have about 87 active families on our list that we're surveying, and there's 4 or 5 new families that join every month. So we would love to continue inviting as many families that need this kind of support.
Definitely. And if somebody's watching and they're thinking, I want to get involved as a volunteer for that, how do they do that?
Yeah, well, we have a great volunteer team already that's working with us, and we're always happy to include new folks. But really the best way to help right now is financial support. We're still a relatively new organization and really interested in growing our donor base so that we can continue to say yes to families. So far, we've not had to turn any families away because of financial resource, and we want to continue that trend even as we continue to grow so quickly.
What an awesome organization. JJ, thank you so much for coming in today.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, thanks for everything you do. We've posted more info on the Light Collective on our website, fox13seattle.com. Studio 13 Live. And hey, coming up next, we're going to be making some signature pizza and mocktails with the Jackson Street Pizza Lounge. Plus, we're going to hear all about their live music offerings. And don't forget, if you missed anything from today's show, you can find it all on our website. Just head to fox13seattle.com/Studio 13 Live. It is time for Emerald Eats, where we highlight amazing food in our area.
Today we are joined by Michael Gennardini. Did I get that right?
Close. Gennardini.
Gennardini. And Donald Dolligan.
Yes.
I got it right.
Yes.
With Jackson Street Pizza Lounge. So you're located in the Leschi neighborhood, so you got to tell us about the restaurant and the concept of what you got going on.
Yeah, so we're a pizza restaurant focusing on pizzas, salads, music, mocktails, cocktails,
Happiness.
yeah.
All of it.
Just a great vibe in general.
That sounds wonderful.
With great food.
I like all those things. What kind of pizza are we making today?
We're gonna make a mushroom pizza.
Okay.
As you see, I got some beautiful chanterelles here, some creamy mushrooms. I'm just gonna start out by kind of like knocking this dough out, kind of making a round.
Are you going to do the flip thing? There you go.
I am not gonna do the flip thing, no.
What
I
do
am
these
not
little
that
dots
talented
on
yet.
here do?
It's just kind of aerated, so
Okay.
when you pull the pizza out of the oven, it doesn't get like a soggy crust. It keeps it crispy.
Oh.
Does the spin thing, is that just for showing off?
That's just for showing off.
So many people show off.
There's a lot of people that can show off. Yeah, no, I'm not quite there yet.
Okay.
Our sous chef can show off.
Yeah.
So you kind of want to like spread it out. You don't want to like make sure you're not ripping any holes or anything.
Okay. If you rip a hole, do you just have to go back to square one, just make it into a ball
No,
and
you
start
can pretty
over?
much like fold it over.
Okay.
Kind of fix it. I
Okay.
see one right there already.
Yeah. I wasn't going to say anything. This looks
There we go.
great. Wonderful. Is this a wheat dough?
There's a little bit of wheat in the dough, but we use 00 flour and a little wheat.
Very nice.
So now we have our garlic puree
Oh.
that we're gonna just spread around.
And that's instead of like a marinara.
Instead of a marinara, yeah. very nice.
Cool.
And then we got some grated pecorino
Ooh, on the bottom.
on the bottom.
I've never seen a pizza like this.
And then
Excited.
right here we have some sottocenere cheese, which is a truffle cheese. It's a cow's milk pasteurized,
Okay.
flavored with a little black truffle. So we're gonna spread that around.
Great. I always feel fancy when I order truffle. Do you like truffle stuff?
I do a cheese pizza.
Yeah.
Every time I order it, if I'm feeling saucy, I'll do Italian sausage. That's it. That's what I do. I do a cheese pizza. So this is very fancy cheese pizza.
Very fancy.
And then we're going to throw some mushrooms on top.
We're gonna throw some mushrooms. We have some beautiful chanterelles here.
Okay. And what is the taste of a chanterelle mushroom?
Say a little bit of buttery, mild, yeah.
Nice.
And then we have some,
What kind of cheese is that?
this is mozzarella.
Mozzarella.
This is a little ovaline mozzarella.
Okay. Cool. It's a little different than the shredded cheese where you just cover the whole top with it. I feel like this
Right,
is very
this is kind of like
methodical.
spread it around. You know, the cheese is gonna melt, it's gonna blend in, you're
Yeah.
gonna get a little bites of different things at one time, not all the same.
Yeah. And then this is your typical mushroom.
This is just cremini mushrooms, baby portobellos, like that, yeah. And then that's it. Then we're gonna take this, we're gonna pop it in our magic oven.
Sure, yes.
Right.
TV's the best for pizza.
And voila.
Wow.
Look at that,
So
beautiful.
fast.
And then if you wouldn't mind taking this brush and just kind of like
Oh, absolutely.
brush the crust there with some of the oil.
Just the crust.
Just the crust part, yeah.
Okay. And is this just a
This is our flavored olive oil that we use for when we make our cured olives at the restaurant. And then we just use the rest of the oil to finish off the pizzas.
How'd I do?
You did great.
Oh, you want more?
No. I then
You're
just
good.
take some chives there.
Okay.
And just kind of throw them on the pizza, a little bit of color.
Ooh, little confetti chives.
There you go.
There we go. It's a
And
chive
that's it.
party.
And there's
And
the
that's
pizza.
our beautiful.
Beautiful.
Look at that. I'm the worst. I feel as if segments like this are wasted on me, and you're like, where's Mireya?
No, I love having you do this. It's
Yeah.
great. Okay, what's going in the drink now?
So I had the Pathfinder, which is out of Portland, and then Wilderton, which is a bittersweet aperitivo. And then some ice. I'm gonna stir it and pour it off.
It's up. Whenever someone makes something Negroni related, I just think of the Adele quote. Negroni.
Do you like Negronis?
Yeah, they're great.
A classic.
Hey, is it true that if you pour a soda using that stirrer thing, that it cuts down on the carbonation bouncing back up?
It'll just follow right down.
Hey, how about that?
Hey, look at you.
I know.
It's pretty
Slinging
cool.
drinks, Bender. I love it. And as you're kind of doing the finishing touches here, tell us about the rotating wall art for local artists that you have.
So right now we have Dakota Dean, local artist, showcasing his stuff, and then every 2 or 3 months or so, we're going to just get a new local artist coming in, put new art up, showcase them.
We have one lined up for the second week of September. Our new art show's going up. And we're not taking any commission. We just want to have a space to offer for artists to put up their pieces.
Yeah.
You know, we're trying to give to the community, to the neighborhood.
Yeah, that's great. So cool.
And which of the two of you are on KEXP doing music every Saturday?
Larry Mizell Jr. is doing first Saturdays of every month.
Nice.
And we're really pumped about it. He did the first Saturday in August, and it was amazing.
Love that.
And we're also part of
Thank you both so much for coming in today. We'll catch you next time. Have a great day. See you tomorrow.
I wanna see you smile, take you another mile. Don't gotta wait, don't gotta wait.